Welcome to Flex Your Feelings podcast with myself, James Penny, and the slightly husky Sam Bell, and our delightful guest, Lottie Passell-Syms. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Hi,
Good
how
morning.
are we all?
Yes, good. Yeah, really good. Good to be here. Thank you for
Lovely to
inviting
have
me.
you.
Lovely to have you, yeah.
Love it.
Only
How
our,
you
our
feel?
second guest?
Say again?
Only our second guest?
Yes.
Oh,
But yeah,
right,
so
nice.
yeah, we feel privileged, but you should too as well.
I do. I totally do, Sam. I do.
Sam, your husk is...
Yeah, post-chest infection. So we're right. Burning the candle at both ends.
You're feeling a bit better now?
Yeah, I feel good. This is making me feel a little better as well. I've been in bed for the last 4 days, so, got out for you guys today. So
Well, that's
Perfect.
it. We're honoured, aren't we?
We are.
Lottie?
Absolutely.
Very, we are so
No.
honoured.
No, like hit the reset button and I'm ready to go. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Good.
Good.
Good. So, Lottie, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us all a bit about yourself?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Lottie Passell-Syms. I am a intimacy and sex and relationship specialist. I work predominantly with couples, which I absolutely adore and I love doing. And I work with individuals that are struggling with their sex lives and dysfunctions, kink or fetish.
Wow. And how long have you been working in that area?
20 plus years, and probably 18, 19 years of that have been sex and intimacy.
Okay.
So that's my niche. That's my favourite thing to do is talk about sex and intimacy and help people.
Right, you came to the right place.
Yeah.
Where were you 3 years
It's our
ago when I was going
favourite
through my
subject.
breakup?
Yeah. Well, I think it's really important to talk about sex
All the
and
time.
relationships and intimacy.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't talk about it enough, and people aren't having sex. We seem to think that everybody else is, and we're not. Actually, it's not true. Not many people are. So we need
there's
to.
a lot less sex happening out there
There
than we thought
is.
there was.
No, there's a lot less, which is so sad. Busy life, things taking over, mental load, and that's the part that communication and intimacy walk out the door at the same time, which is really sad.
Is it the pursuit of sex as well? Because like I've listened to a lot of other podcasts and it's predominantly the young, from what the research is showing, that young men just aren't that interested in anymore. Like they're more about their careers and stuff like that. And from a relatively young male, I made a joke about your age.
Kidding yourself.
Yeah, like Christ, all I could think about since the turn of 18 was let's go out and pursue a girl on a night out, and obviously that's stuff like that. But you hear that men just aren't that interested in it anymore. Is it the same for women? Are you finding like both generations and both sexes not interested?
I think the tide has turned. I think there's less alcohol, more coffee shops. I think there's more activities like board games and chess and all that sort of stuff where people are meeting in a community base. So it's about friendship, it's about connection. And I'm not saying people aren't having relationships, but the landscape's changing.
Okay.
It feels like it's less alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
It kind of makes sense if you think about culture, society.
Yeah.
Where would you have gone to meet people? Our generation, mostly bars, clubs, etc.
Yeah.
And going back 20, 30, 40 years, a lot of it has been centred around alcohol and meeting people in those kind of places.
Well, clubs are a thing of the past now, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah,
It's not long
massively.
since I've been to one.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to one, but there's a statistic that clubs, like as you would perceive them, like nightclubs, not so much bars, but there's something like 60-70% less clubs than there was before COVID. And obviously that's a place where people meet to hook up, sort of thing. But like, just touching on that, like the first thing that goes to my head is, if people are only having sex because they're drunk, where does that go? What does that mean? So if you think that the less alcohol being drunk is in direct correlation to less sex, does that mean it's like meaningless sex? Do you know what I mean?
I've not thought about that, but I guess when I'm thinking about alcohol, I'm thinking about, is it consensual for a start?
Yeah.
So that takes me there. But I feel like young people want to meet on a different level. They want to meet on a what we call sapiosexual level, an intellectual level.
Yeah.
Talking to people.
It's funny you say that, because obviously I'm dating in a minute, and heard of Bumble?
Yeah.
So they have these, and like Hinge, they have these prompts, and one of the first things is like ideal first date, and the amount of girls that So my ideal first date is a walk, talk, coffee. Like I think it's super casual, but you get to really know someone. We've discussed it before where it's kind of a little bit selfish because I'm like, right, I can get my steps up at the same time sort of thing, right? Go outside in nature. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's like,
Absolutely.
well,
You're winning.
I've got a routine that I want to stick to. So, but some girls are like, oh no, like if you're not taking me out for drinks, I'm not interested. So it's like, well, hang on, I'm trying to get to know you, but you'd rather go to a bar, make me buy you alcohol, and then, I mean, I've gone on first dates and got absolutely hammered before, and we've discussed it in the past. Like, we've almost said, I think we did an episode about do's and don'ts on first dates, and we said if you can limit that alcohol consumption on the first date, then do, because I've been on it before where you've gone on a first date, got absolutely hammered, thought I'd had a really good time. And then the second date, fucking awful. It was terrible because I was like, "This is we didn't get to know the real person that was sat opposite us, and this we got nothing here."
Yeah. And I think there's something for me about there's a lot of young people, not all of them, but they're in their bedrooms gaming, or outside stuff is more important. It's going out in nature, meeting people, talking to people, and we're not doing that as much. And that's not because the nightclubs have closed down or the 600 pubs a week are closing down. It's actually there's more coffee shops than we can name. You can go out and do stuff with other people. So I don't think we need to include alcohol all the time. And I think it is. I've got an issue with the dating sites. I'm going off tangent now.
That's what this podcast is about. Go on as much tangent as you want.
I've got an issue because I was talking to somebody the other day, and actually you had to give the whole bio of everything you like. You've just mentioned there, what's your initial first date? What would you like? Then it said something about what are your value systems, what are your attachment style, what are you this, what are you that. When you get on your date, you actually know half the things about the person that you would be finding out about the person.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you know
so
what I mean?
We're getting that information without actually hearing it.
Yeah, a client of mine come in. And they went on a date, and the person turned up, and they go, right, okay, before we sit down and really get to know each other, what are your values? And they were like,
curveball.
Hang on a minute, I'm not quite sure where the question. They had even sat down and go, well, if you don't know what your values are, I won't stay. So we're trying to find out. The values were put on the Bumble or whatever, which one it was, but they wanted to check it out, and I'm like, there's too much information going on these dating sites.
So, just to make it explicitly clear, so I understand, values would be respect, trust, care, other things. That how would you know you're having a conversation about your values? The
values are about you, solely you. So integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, and loyalty. They're not about what you give to somebody else or are to somebody else. They're actually your essence of yourself, being able to go, this is the life that I want to lead. These are the values that I follow.
And it may be then that people don't actually know what those are.
No,
if they're not asking themselves the question.
But if they're being asked the question, they're trying to fit a profile on the dating site. That dating sites use attachment theory as well on dating sites to match people up. So for me, algorithm. Absolutely. So I just feel a bit sad sometimes that we're giving all this information before we've even met someone. It's like saying, hi, tell me about you. I already know about you. You've just told me everything on Bumble.
I know. It's part of setting up a dating profile that I loathe, actually. Tell me a bit about you in that write about you box, and then tick all of the hobbies and interests. I'm like, that's not conveying me.
No.
Also,
go on, no,
you
please.
Can lie. Yeah. Because, people, if I see one more fucking thing that says, oh, what's your perfect Sunday? And it's a walk on a Sunday roast, it's bollocks. You're just fucking writing it because you think that's what
my perfect Sunday changes for a start. Depending on what mood I'm in.
Exactly. But, people, don't get me wrong, you are advertising yourself, I understand that, but it's like, oh, shall I put these things down? Like country music, right? That's a massive thing for me. And the amount of profiles that I see, say, they like country music and stuff like that. And the minute I ask them a question, they're like, oh, I've heard one song. I'm like, well, then that's not about you, is it? But it's something that I've honed in on because I'm like, oh, wow, she loves country music.
Yeah.
So I've gone straight in with that. Like, look, we've got this, this passion, if you like, together. And then they're like, oh, no, I heard that Beyonce song once, and I'm like, well, that's not fucking country music anyway. So it's like, do you know what I mean? You're almost ticking boxes because you think that's what the other person is going to wanna like.
Well, I guess the other person is reading loads of other profiles, so they're looking at it and going, oh, that's popular, so I'll put it down as being popular.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but we're talking about authenticity, aren't we, at the end of the day? Be authentic in what you're writing. I remember going on a dating site ages ago, and I put looking for friendship, and it freaked everybody out. They would go, it's a dating site. I said, yeah, but I want to start with friendship.
Yeah.
Why can't you put, if you're my profile, I'll put what I like.
So often there are people going with, I think this speaks in some ways to expectations and what we go into the dating apps thinking about. We're trying to find someone that fits a perfect archetype in our minds. This has to be, the values, like you say, not even talked about. But I listened to something the other day where someone was like, red flags. They drive a hatchback. I think it was Maths I was watching, actually.
What, the new Australian one?
Yeah. It's like, really? You're going to say no to a guy who drives a hatchback? And I know that there's a jokey element to that. Yeah. But if we go in with such rigid expectations, you're not actually getting to meet the person. You're just doing a tick box exercise. And you're so close-minded in many ways, I wonder if you agree, that you've already set yourself up to fail.
Yeah, but I don't know it in depth. I must admit I am going to look into it, but it's the high value woman or man, isn't it? There's an algorithm for which category are you in for somebody that's going to choose you.
Well, there's even dating apps now that you have to apply for. Did you ever heard about this?
No.
I think one's called The League and one's called Raya. I got rejected from both. But yeah, you have to apply. You have to apply to them, and if you're not recommended by someone that's already on the app, it's like, no, you're not good enough for our app. And it's like this meant to be the elite of the elite dating and stuff like that. And
scary, that word.
Yeah, well, and I've got friends that have been on them, and apparently, literally, all it is like full of, for one of a better phrase, Z-list celebrities, like the Love Islands, and then footballers and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're all still treating it the same. They text the girls and all the boys and like, hey, look, I'm doing a PR thing this weekend. Do you want to hook up? I'm like, fucking hell, it's literally exactly the same. Like, it doesn't matter what this league is. They advertise as me. If you pay for us to match you and stuff like that, then you're going to become an elite single and you're going to meet the person of your dreams. Nah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and I used to be on Plenty of Fish, and my friend was on Match.com that she paid for, and it was the same people on the same, because she was showing me, I go, I recognise that person, So,
multi-platform profiles, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're aware that the dating scene can be somewhat clunky.
Yeah.
Maybe, shall we say.
Better word than I was going to use.
When we think about that, people obviously do then get into relationships, and you've been a intimacy and sex and relationship therapist for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Whether it's past or kind of more current, what would you say is something that comes up so much, or that really you feel passionate about when you're doing your work, that you think, oh, this is really something I notice or observe?
God, that's a lovely question, isn't it? Yeah, I guess for me, first of all, it's always communication. Trying to be able to talk to each other. It's not about what you say; it's what the response is, whether you'll say it again or not.
Okay, say a bit more about that. So it's not about what you say.
In a relationship, you should be able to say anything. And obviously, when you're first getting to know someone, you're in that limerence stage. You want to show the best of you. You want to be in that moment. But actually, as you come into more of a longevity relationship, you should be able to say anything you want to say. Not in a horrible, not in a harsh way, but saying what you think and feel. And it's the response that you get will determine whether you'll actually say that again to the person that you're with. It's the response that actually makes the difference to the communication, not what you say.
So if somebody receives what you say maturely and emotionally openly, then it's more likely that you're going to then feel safe enough to continue to say how you feel.
Yeah, most of my work is about curiosity. Yeah.
So if somebody responds negatively, it's much more likely you're going to shut down and think, well, I'm never going to say anything like that again.
Well, it's evidence, isn't it? Yeah. It's like everything that we do is an evidence-based system. Like, if you turn around and say, I'm going to go run a marathon tomorrow, you may as well go, fuck off, no you won't, because you've said that 5 times before. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's exactly the same principle, right? Like, it's an evidence-backed system. So if you continuously negatively respond to those types of comments in a relationship, your partner's not going to want to talk to you about that sort of thing. I've been there. I was a fucking nightmare.
Like, you would withhold things.
I was a fixer.
Right.
Anytime that my ex-partner come to me with an issue, I'm like, right, well, what you got to do is this. Rather than just sit there and go, like, okay. And what I ended up doing, I mean, it was a little bit too late, but the first couple of times I said to us, like, you need to tell me what you need from me here, because if you want me to just listen, then I'll do that. But if you want some advice, then do that as well, because at the minute I can't pick up on like the social cue on what you want. Yeah. And I know that it takes a little bit of the empathy out of it straight away. If you turn around and say, right, before we start this conversation, what do you want from me? And it does take a little bit of the empathy away from it.
Do you think?
I think so, yeah. Like, in my opinion, like, if I come to you with a problem, but like, oh, James, like, I'm feeling like this. If your natural reaction is to want to help people, which it clearly is with the profession and the kind of person that you are, me, I was the same. I was like, okay, well, I want to help you then.
So that bit takes the empathy out of it.
I think asking, okay, what do you want from me here? Do you want me to be an ear, or do you want me to be a voice? Like,
if I'm interested to know what you think, because this is my view, but it feels to me like that very question, that beautiful question, what do you need from me, is the epitome of empathy. Because
I agree with you now.
It's like understanding, and it's you starting off with, I want to understand what you need, then I can understand, or work, like, if you want me to listen, I'll work then to empathise and understand you there. If you want me to help you with more practical advice, I'll listen and understand and display empathy there. It sounds like you're covering all bases, but are you saying that you didn't feel that before?
So I used to just go straight in with the advice, and then I think there was a stage where I was like, right, you need to tell me what you need from me here. And then we had a conversation, and it was like, well, I shouldn't need to tell you. And I'm like, well, you do, because this is my go-to, and this is not what you're expecting. So, like, how am I meant to hit an expectation if I don't know what the hell it is?
Well, there's that magic word again, expectation, isn't it?
But also, we live in a relationship that you're supposed to know. You're supposed to be a mind reader. We've been together 5 years. Why don't you know what I want?
Yeah.
Haven't you got any cues? Have I not shown you enough? And my favourite saying is, what do you need from me right now?
Yeah.
I think there's such empathy with that, and it's such a connection. But if we're sitting in a relationship that says you should know by now, I love it when clients come into me and they say to me, we've been together 20 years, we know each other really well, and I say to them, I'm going to prove you wrong. You don't know each other at all. And I give them this exercise to do, because they don't know each other as much as they think they do. And we've got lots. It's card decks by John Gottman.
Oh, okay.
And it gives them the opportunity. And I say, let's start. What's her favourite flower, and what's his favourite car?
And so card decks are questions.
Yeah.
Is this almost like this is to take it like a little bit like layman's terms, but like the Mr. and Mrs. when their backs are going to each other.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
like the panel shot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an app you can download, and it's multicoloured, so you can't miss it. And it starts off with like appreciations or questions to each other, and then as you go down, it's affirmations, and then it's sort of sex life and intimacy and everything. And it's just a really nice. And I get my couples to do it when I say to them, how much telly do you watch? How much are you scrolling? Get away from all of that. Let's really ring fence this relationship so that you can actually spend some time together. And the card decks is really, really useful to do that.
Do you know what's really funny is that I've been at couples parties, not that kind. And, I was saying it before you said it.
I'll be honest, my mind did go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you caught me.
You have that. There's always that one couple that like, yeah, we know each other. They put back to back. They do that little game. They don't get a single question right. Then they have a massive argument about it.
Yeah, they do.
And it's like, oh, this is awkward for everybody else. Yeah. But yeah,
because people
just
don't
proves it.
Ask questions. You think they don't?
Curious.
So curiosity is like a key cornerstone to a healthy relationship.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When somebody said something and you're not quite sure about it, say, "Tell me more. What do you need from me? I don't quite understand." So, most of the couples that I get in, there would be a rescuer and there would be a pursuer in some way, or somebody that's stonewalling. There'd be all these behaviours that are going on, and we've got to make sure that actually they're sitting. No one is definitely always equal. People keep saying we want equality. Two people are two different cultural backgrounds, two opinions, two brains. They're never going to be equal in the way that they think and do stuff. But what we're trying to do is get that. I like alignment. I don't like compatibility. Alignment is when our goals are the same, our values are similar, but also we've got that what we call activities, not exits. So the activities is the opportunity to have something of your own, and then come back into the relationship and go, guess what happened today? This is where I went. This is what I did. Yeah. This is how I, navigated my day. What about you? So we need separateness to be close.
Yeah, I love that. Like,
That's powerful.
Yeah, I think like I've been in a relationship where, especially at one point where I kind of like left all my mates and stuff like that, and it was like, right, woof, you are my entire world.
Yeah.
And I smothered the hell out of her.
Yeah.
And she was just like, Christ, I need some space. And I took that personally, and I was like, what's fucking wrong with me? Like, what, you know, I'm doing all this for you. I go to work. You know, my biggest thing was because obviously I do shift work, so I only get like one weekend off every, like a full weekend every like 6 weeks. And if she'd had something planned in that weekend, I'd be like, well, you've got 5 other weekends. Why aren't you prioritising me? And now I'd be like, yeah, fine. You know, like I might not get a full weekend with you, but I get this many hours or this many hours. But back then I was so hell-bent on, oh, well, you're not treating me the way that I deserve to be treated and stuff. So.
But I always look at what script we're playing out. So some of the assessments that I do is very much about family of origin. You know, what were we like as a child, and what were our needs met or unmet, and then when we go into relationship, that's still happening.
Yeah.
So there's an insecurity there. We're trying to hold that space for ourselves whilst we're expecting the other person to meet those unmet needs from child, but they can't because they don't know what they were because they weren't with you in the house at the time.
Yeah.
And that sentence or that phrase, meet my needs or unmet needs, it's interesting. I don't know about you, I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
In my work and also just listening to people talk in society. Often, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Lottie, people come to couples therapy because they feel that their needs aren't being met. And I wonder what that actually means. I'd be very interested to understand what you think. And when we say, oh, we're not getting our needs met, what is that?
Yeah, such a blanket statement.
It is a blanket statement. What does it mean?
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
say it so freely, I'm not getting my needs met, I'm not getting my needs met. I mean, that is surface level.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to drill down.
Do you think it is almost like a cop-out? Like for me, if someone like, it doesn't matter to be male or female, but like someone says, oh, my needs aren't getting met, and if they can't elaborate on that, then is it just well, there's something wrong, but oh yeah, you're not fulfilling my needs. Like they need to be able to, in my opinion, need to be able to go, well, this isn't what you're doing, or this isn't what I expect you to do. Not, and this is a big thing. You said it earlier about the word should, like you said the word should. Now, in my opinion, that word should get fucked off out of the dictionary because it's a matter of opinion. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. Says who?
Yeah.
Like,
do we go into relationships though with those needs?
Should, ought,
and
must,
expectations
have to,
and shoulds
always,
and
never.
musts and have all those absolutes.
Yeah.
How do couples navigate if they feel like their needs aren't being met in a relationship? Sam's saying about identifying what the needs are. I mean, that's got to be a good start, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's no good doing a blanket statement. You've got to say, right, okay, what are the needs? And obviously my title is psychosexual, so they usually come in to say that my needs aren't being met in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Or on the kitchen table. I get like people to, have a variety of things.
Oh, you've met her before, have you, James?
So for me, it's about being able to have that discussion. What are the needs, the unmet needs? And Esther Perel, I love her so much. She talks about not one person can meet all your needs. And we're talking about communication, we're talking about conflict.
It takes a community and a village.
Absolutely.
Takes a village.
Isn't that a
people.
dangerous statement, though? Isn't that
what
giving
way?
certain people a license to go, oh, well, not one person can meet my needs, so...
Oh, what? So what?
Well,
Like affairs?
it depends. True, but it depends on what contract you have for your relationship. So I believe that a relationship is a contract.
Yep.
Okay, don't have to be married. That's not the contract I'm talking about. But I'm talking about friendship, intimacy, and sex. That is the contract in my therapy room. And what that means is sacred, not with somebody else, unless, of course, you're talking about open relationships, polyamory, and all that, which is fine too, because people choose that. But what I find interesting about polyamory is they have the setup of people who know everything, and then somebody goes had an affair that's secret. So there's always that aliveness we're looking for. There is always that possibility of us wanting to go a little bit further than we've got. And that unneed met needs to be acknowledged to find out what that need might be. Because if it's not fed, where do we go and fill up?
Yeah. Because if you change the contract and haven't shown the other people or person what you've amended,
The terms and conditions.
and then, sorry, this contract's
T's
now
and
null and
C's.
void because I've gone off and experienced this, but we didn't talk about that.
No, absolutely not.
had our own internal conversation. We didn't share it. We didn't bring it to the relationship space.
Yeah, and that's what's happening with the contract, isn't it? Like, for instance, I get a lot of women coming and going, I don't want to have sex anymore. We've got the children, we've got our setup, we've got our empire, we've both got good jobs, we've got good money coming in, we can have good holidays, and I don't want to have sex anymore. So they've broken the contract. But we need to find out why. There's a reason why.
So by breaking the contract, you mean that they're for some reason, obviously, they're taking sex out of the contract, which then leaves partner bemused, bewildered, bothered, confused. But if the person that's taking sex off the table doesn't explain why, then it's not fair on the other person.
No, of course it's not. We've got to have some sort of acknowledgement that actually I'm in this place at the moment, and there can be lots of reasons for that. Doing that, there is a reason for it. It's the same as guys do the same sometimes. They go, I don't want.
You find guys do that as well?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And sometimes guys take it off the table because they're being rejected a little bit too much and they can't cope. You can only be rejected so much, and then you start to shut down. Do
you find that guys tend to then pursue more if the sex is starting to be removed from the contract, so to speak? Are men generally in heterosexual relationships more the pursuer?
They are. Well, it's like oxygen, isn't it? When you don't think you're going to get it, women will say to me, he keeps like touching my bum or touching my boob.
Always want what you can't have.
Yeah, but what you're doing is a bid for connection.
Yeah,
I know I can't cuddle you like in a normal setting because you're not letting me. You've told me to get off. However, I'm just going to cop a feel here and I'm going to touch you there and everything. And actually, that causes the separation even more because women need warmth to lead up to.
Yeah,
men are similar, as in they want affection, but they don't need the lead up like we do.
Yeah,
some. I always say some.
James looks like he needs a warm up. You like kind of doing the geezer wants to cuddle.
My brain's like,
give us your feet, mate. Come here. Start with foot massage.
Oh, nice. Yes, I do. But they've got to be strong hands.
Oh, right.
Like basically that just kind of really just contort my feet into position. Like that is so soothing. But anyway, it is some. Like when we're having these conversations, it's important that we're not saying this applies to everyone.
No.
But common themes are then if somebody's been rejected over and over and over again. Then there's only so much before then that might then lead to that individual having an affair, as an example, finding a connection elsewhere. But if someone then the opposite party, the other partner is not explaining why you can't cuddle me anymore, get off.
Yeah,
it's just this void of
of course, nothing. Yeah, and some people will go out and seek an affair.
Some,
but other people are sitting in situations, what they call the cup of tea syndrome, where they're just chatting to someone. But there's nothing else happening at home. It's chaos, the children, the mental load for both partners at home, not just one. And either of them can go off and do something else, can't they? Have an affair. But the cup of tea syndrome is where it starts. So somebody has a bid for connection. Do you want to go for a cup of tea? You look a bit sad. You go, actually, things at home, which again for me is you're actually breaking that loyalty at home. So my wife is this, or my partner is this, and I'm not getting on and everything. And they go, okay, do you want to meet tomorrow for a cup of tea? So the cup of tea syndrome carries on, and you notice, and they're not very aware of it, but then they say that the next day everybody looks a bit nicer, a bit more clean shaven, a little bit more cleavage, a little bit whatever it might be, and this could be the start of something.
As in. Them finding another connection with someone
absolutely, yeah.
Because someone's interested.
Absolutely,
perhaps. If you get that attention, which I think in so many ways we all crave, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but we'd like to have that connection. So maybe it's not necessarily, I need this, because that wouldn't be healthy. But then if people are taking an interest in you, that's got to be like an elixir where you're like, especially if you've been starved of it in a relationship.
Yeah.
You see it in films, don't you? Like it's a cliche, like, and it's not, like this day and age, no sex is more emotional than the other. But you see it in like old school films, and it's like the man has an affair, and he's just like, because she fucking listened to me, and then the woman's like, oh, grow up, like you're a man, like you don't. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, no, like that is the truth. Like you haven't paid me any attention. In any way, shape, or form. It doesn't always have to be sex. Like, it can. I remember having conversations with my ex, and don't get me wrong, we were dead and buried way before this happened. But I'd come in and I'd want to talk to her about her day and stuff, and she'd be like, oh, I just don't want to talk. And I'm like, I want to come home and I want to ask you about your day. Like, all I've got quite an interesting job, I think. Like, and she's just not
putting out fires.
Apparently, I'm special as well.
I was teasing you. That is an interesting
But yeah,
job.
like, and I come home and I want to talk, and then we'd be sat there on our phones, or she'd be sat there on her phone between like the hours of like 8 and 10. And I'd be like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, and it was the worst thing in the world when we broke up, but you know, in hindsight, the best thing.
But it's neglect.
Yeah. And I know why we got to that stage, because it was stuff that I did way before that. So I know that I'd created that situation. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that this was on her, it was on me. But there's got to be so much more that has happened to get before that gets to that stage, surely. Or do people just switch off?
No, there's a river. I call it the river.
Yeah.
That's going along. And then it gets tumultuous, and then it gets moderate, and then it gets mild, and then it goes back up to tumultuous. So we're trying to navigate it all the time. And then suddenly there is like, I'm going to need a conversation with you because I'm not going to put up with this.
Do you find that the couples that do come to you and say, you know, like, let's use the sex, you know, we're not having sex, and you know, like in my experience, once we were done, we were done. You know, we didn't go to couples therapy, but it was well over. Yeah. There was no real coming back from it. Do you what's like, not a percentage, but like, do couples do come back from it? Like, can they reintroduce that spark, if you like?
It depends on if there's contempt. So when they've really gone to a place of, I don't like myself, who I've become in this relationship, and I actually don't like you very much. Not you, Sam.
No. You wouldn't be the first, and you won't be the last. Don't worry.
I mean, we like your straight talking, but you know, come on.
I'm going to leave.
Where was I?
Oh, you were just insulting me.
Contempt. If
there's contempt there, then it can be really, really difficult. But as a therapist, I point that out straight away. I notice it in my room, and I will say to them, this is quite contemptuous. We need to pull back from this. And I point out the words that they're saying in the session, which they are completely unaware of. You've just called her this. You've just called him that. Yeah. And they go, I didn't say that. And I go, yeah, you just did. So we need to pull right away from that. No, they're not, because they've gone into this place of competitive, I've got to win, and they've gone into this place of a behaviour that is consistent all the time. It's happening all the time. So the F word or the C word will just come as a sentence. And when I say to them, actually, you've just said this, they go, I didn't say that. And I go, yeah, you did just say that. Yeah. So we need to pull right the way back from that.
Just touching on what you said there about like that winning mentality. It leads me on to one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you about. Obviously, you deal with a lot of couples, but one thing I wanted to ask you about was like that power struggle in today's society about the dominant sex in a relationship. Do you find that has a big impact? Because, you know, everyone wants, for want of a better phrase, the independent alpha man, and then the flip reverse, everyone wants that independent woman. They want to, like, you know, all these things, and then when it gets to it, does that work? Because I find that, not so much myself, but I find that like there's these guys that say they want these things, and then when they get it, they're like, oh no, like this is too much for me, because
like,
I can't handle it. Exactly, I can't handle it. It's like, you know, someone that the amount of times that I hear guys say, oh yeah, I really want someone to keep me on my toes, and then when they say that, you know, like the cliche thing is, oh, I'm going to the pub with my mates. Not to me, we discussed alcohol and stuff like that. Not too many people do that anymore. But then when their missus say, no, hang on, you said that we were going to do this, and then they say, they almost like put their foot down, for want of a better phrase. Like, oh, fucking hell, she's moaning at me because I want to go to the pub with my mates. I work hard all week, and it's like, well, hang on, you said you wanted this.
Yeah.
So do you find that when it gets to that stage, especially, these two, like, alpha sort of personalities, does it get worse?
What we need is a balance. Okay, so I did a podcast a little while ago called The Boardroom to the Bedroom, and I see a lot of entrepreneurial women in my practice, and the reason I see them is because there's no sex going on, because they're so entrepreneurial and they're always focus on career. But when they come home, they're still the boardroom, and the bedroom is very, very
some people are into that.
They can be, yeah.
Under certain umbrellas.
But they're not liking it because they're still orchestrating what happens. And they don't want to. They want that feminine side of them to come through.
Yeah.
But they feel like they're still the boss in the house. And the husband, the emasculation from him doing that for himself or through her, so giving him his power, there is no excitement in the bedroom because she's still in the boardroom going, I want to have sex and I want to do this and she just wants. Women like to surrender.
I was going to say, is that when? It's funny because I actually dated a girl that was like, you know, and she had her own business, and she was like, I said, oh, you know, what do you want to do? And she was like, fuck that. She was like, tell me. She was like, I do this Monday to Friday from like 7 till 7. She's like, when it comes to dating, I want a guy to say, right, I'm picking you up at 7. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Is it that expectation that they want, and the guys are just like, oh, like I don't know how to deal with this.
I think it's a combination, but I think that is so lovely that happens. But also, don't forget, the guys suddenly turn around and says, "When am I going to be treated? When am I going to have something?" Because I think it's got to be.
When am I getting flowers?
You like getting flowers?
No, but that's what I'm thinking, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Like, when am I going to get the?
We're talking about general generational stereotypes now. That it's only women that receive flowers. It's like
we only get them when we're dead.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true. I mean, speaking from gay perspective, I mean, I buy my partner flowers.
Yes,
but yes, in some dynamics, heterosexual dynamics, perhaps more than others. Yeah, what about the men receiving treats
absolutely.
and pleasure and being
and surprises and spontaneity. So one of the relationship creed is spontaneity within the relationship. But however, if you're in a relationship that actually doesn't feel that safe, and I'm not talking about domestic violence here, actually needs not being met, not being heard, dismissed, sex not on the table, bids for a connection are ignored. If the safety's not there, you can't be funny, you can't be playful, you can't be silly, because the safety's not there. It doesn't feel safe enough.
Yeah. No, I get that. That makes a lot of sense.
And so balance, you say, is one of the key things, because it's like a mutual energy exchange.
It's
like
the dance.
Sort of the dance. It's a lovely analogy. We're doing this dance, and if we don't know the steps, or the other partner's doing the tango, and we're doing the foxtrot, then it's not going to look nice.
No.
But
no, I agree, and I love it when we've got two cheerleaders. They're really cheerleading for the relationship. They're really thinking about what they both want individually. So what we call differentiation. I'm an I first, choosing to be a we. But sometimes the actual relationship is one person's a cheerleader and the other person's ambivalent. You carry on sorting out the holidays. You carry on sorting out the kids. You carry on sorting out the schools. And that we've got an ambivalent partner that actually sits back and lets it all happen. And when we've got a mental load on either or, it gets too much, and then we either explode or we shut down.
Yeah.
Well, we'll defend in some way against what's going on.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Until we're conscious of it.
Absolutely, the awareness is the key. Yeah.
Because I think so much of this happens unconsciously.
Yeah, it does.
And I suppose in therapy it's a prime opportunity to bring all of that into the open.
Yeah.
Do you find that, like, when you do have that kind of dynamic, that there's situations where, you say the whatever that fucking really good word was, the one who's taking charge.
I like the way you said it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm clever, but not that clever. But like, the one who's taking charge all the time, right, and doing all these things, and it almost becomes that expectation. You hear about it so many times, and I've been in situations where they stop, and then they're like, "Why aren't you doing this?" And it's like, because you've always done it.
Yeah.
But then is that like moving the goalposts? Like, do you find that happens quite a lot? Well,
it's the mental load, isn't it? But don't forget, somebody's controlling the relationship from a script from the past because they feel like they have to. People don't want to control the relationship. There's something going on for them.
Yeah.
So the empathy that I have for somebody going, well, I have to do all this and I have to do. And my question is, who asked you to? Why are you being mother?
Yeah, that's.
So we've got to look
at. Like, it's deep.
Yeah. Can relate.
This ain't going to be a therapy session for me, but we'll move on.
I think it will probably.
When can I book in?
I think it will hit deep for a lot of people. Because we take on these roles, unconscious roles, from childhood, which then play out, and they're just left to happen until we go, oh, I don't want to keep doing this.
So the awareness is, am I being the victim or am I being the martyr?
But to get to being two cheerleaders, is it rare to have two cheerleaders come to therapy? Like, we are so here for... I mean, coming to therapy is, of course...
One's generally dragged, right?
Usually,
Getting themselves to therapy is a sign, or maybe one person is, like you said, dragged.
Yeah.
But often you've got to get them to the cheerleading point, would you say?
No,
they can celebrate
one person comes in being the cheerleader, but it's from a place of fear. You know, I just want this to happen, and I just want this to work, and I've done this, and and I said to him, right, okay, let's slow down. What's going on? You're panicking. And the other person's really ambivalent. They're sitting there going, don't know why she's so this or he's so that. Well, I don't know what, I thought everything was okay. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So,
do you find that... Now, this is like a situation where, let's say the woman in a heterosexual relationship, she's like, right, we're going to couples therapy because this ain't right. So they come in, and it's like, it is a little bit cliche, and it's probably from a lot of films and stuff like that, but they're two sat there, and then the woman's saying, oh, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. And then over the sessions, they realise that they're actually doing a lot more wrong than what they realise, and they don't like that. They don't like to hear that. Do you find that a lot?
What, the woman's doing something wrong?
Well, yeah, or either or, let's say the instigator of the therapy,
right?
They come and go, right, look, let's do couples therapy, and then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 sessions in, they go, fucking hell, I don't like what I'm hearing here because you're telling me I'm actually doing something wrong, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for you to tell me that he is doing this or she is doing this wrong. So it's that validation that they go for. Because I've done it. I've been to therapy because all I wanted to hear was that I was doing the right thing, and they did that for me. That therapist, and I think that I've heard of the couples have been there and they're like, well, I didn't want to hear that because that's not what I came here for. I came here for you to fix our relationship because they're not doing what I expect them to do.
Yeah, but projection is really powerful, isn't it? It's all their fault. So there must be something wrong with them, nothing wrong with me.
So just explain projection briefly. So
it's where we have it's like a mirror, really. Okay. Everything that you're saying to the other person is the mirroring of what's happening to you. So there could be a fear, there could be whatever that list is. Projection is when we're feeling it ourselves, but we're unaware of it, and then we're projecting it onto our partner and getting them to feel it so that we don't have to feel it because it's too painful.
It's like an avoidance. We don't want to feel it, so we push it out and project it on someone else. And then we react or play that out. But actually we're not addressing our own stuff.
No, absolutely not. Okay. And people stay in chaos because it's what they might have known. Some family of origin, they might have known chaos, so they ride along okay-ish, and then they bring back in chaos again because that's what they know. It's a safety place, but it's actually rupturing the relationship because your script back then is not your script that you have to have now. And the other person has no idea of the script. They know the story of it, but they don't know the feeling of it. What the chaos is. So what we're trying to do is get them to realise that a lot of the stuff in the past is playing out now.
How hard is it to change that script, do you find?
It is hard because it's the script that you believed in. You had 2 parents that you looked up to, and they were huge giants. And you were like, please don't let anything happen to you because I've got to survive to be able to get to where I am now. That's why I do a lot of inner child work, talking to the little you, so that you're able to actually say that actually the little you survived, and that's why you're here today at the age that you are now, and being able to sit in that place. It's really delicate, tentative work, getting people to look back to go forward.
Because it requires you to be vulnerable.
It does require you to be vulnerable. That's
what people are guarding against at all costs.
Yeah, but vulnerability is the space of growth. It's where we learn. It's where we have the best feelings.
That's why people don't often move past the wounds. And I'm saying, like, speaking sort of, I guess generally, but I know it won't be the case for everyone, that maybe they don't move through the scripty stuff. They heal the wounds and get to a place of beautiful mutuality and healthy connection because they stop at the point where it's too much and then don't go any further. Do you think people could heal from and move beyond? I mean, no, absolutely. But it's the work that you've got to do. So Christine Dunkley used to talk about you can't go round it, you can't go over it, you've got to go through it. And it's so true, and I love that.
Joke. That was a good joke. That was a good book when we were kids.
Very funny.
I really believed you then, just for a second.
But so people arrive in couples therapy in some way because they're wanting to address this stuff.
Well, they don't know that they need to address that stuff. What we're looking at is the relationship, but the relationship is coming from a place of the script that they were given. So children don't write their own script; it's written for them. So if you think, one of the things I ask my clients is, when you were a child and you either got told off or hurt yourself, or there was a situation where you did something, how did you react? And they will say, I went really quiet, or I sulked, or I lashed out. And I go, okay, now let's look at where you are now. So when you're having an argument now, what do you do? And one of them would say, well, he or she sulks for 4 days. That's what they did as a child. So they're doing the same repertoire as they did when they were 4.
It's powerful because it's been there since childhood, ingrained in our very sense of self.
Yeah.
And I don't know about your views on this, but I think one indication we might be alerted to the fact that we're in that scripty place is if something feels instantly big.
Yeah.
Like you're ha 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 ha, and then boom. Yeah. And you're like, something. It's like either a rage or an anger where you suddenly go really quiet and you shrink. That's an indication it's coming from the past. Yeah. Like it's a scripty thing because it's instant.
Yeah.
I know it in my previous relationships. If somebody's shut me down or shushes me, because shush, somewhat loud. Ow, Sam! I instantly go to rage. Yeah. And I want to go, don't you tell me to be quiet. Yeah. Or it's that sort of belly dropping feeling where you feel instantly dismissed, and then you're like, But it takes a huge amount of conscious awareness to know, oh, that's telling me script.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I love the differentiation between anger and rage. So anger is a benign growth process where you get annoyed, you have an argument, you then talk about it through and you go, yeah, okay, we don't agree, but actually let's do this plan. Rage is complex, unprocessed stuff from child. It's just a swallowing down. So when we talk about the people that sulk, they probably went quiet and sulked and got away because actually the person was still raging. They were still not okay with them. And to be quiet meant they were safer.
Yeah, it was internalized.
So there would be it was internalized, totally.
And some people have multiple defense mechanisms. So, for example, I used to react to my dad that if I felt wounded. Yeah. I would say, or to my mum, the most nasty thing I could come up with, and it was like a viper tongue. Yeah. But that was my way of going, you've really hurt me, but I can't say that you really have because I wouldn't be listened to. Then it would be butting heads. Yeah. Then I'd move into this deep-rooted, horrible internal place of shame. Yeah. And sadness, and it was never resolved. And that people have their own versions, but that builds and builds and builds. And I don't know if you agree, but that's love relationships will bring that shit out.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a spiteful piece of shit in the past so much.
But that's how we do conflict. So we learn how to do conflict.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, absolutely. And rage and shame are partners. They are. They come together.
And if we can learn to be less reactionary, more conscious, more grounded, and talk from a place that's more adult or authentic, then we might be able to navigate those tricky times better.
And it's so lovely because I know myself, I've been defensive most of my life, and just not being that now is it's just a freedom.
Yeah.
Because you're always on it. You're just waiting for somebody. You're not pseudo listening, half listening anymore. You're really listening because you know that you're going to be triggered, or you feel that you will be. So you're always that energy about you is different compared to other people. So I haven't got that nervous system going on now. Going, all right, I wonder if I'm going to be safe. Oh, I wonder if I'm not ready now to actually defend myself. I go, yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I'll take that on board. I'll think about that. I'll take it away with me. Thank you very much.
And I don't know, one phrase that like, tell me more, and we've got to be much more receptive and empathic and talk. Another phrase that I've taken on is that to say whatever your partner's saying to you at the time, and if you don't agree, yeah, you're right. I can see definitely from your perspective, how would see that, and say, yeah, you're right, and trying to say that whilst not raging, but feeling this, like you just said, this sort of inner calm, like the burden's gone. Just to say to somebody, no, you're right. I've not seen it like that before. Yeah. Well, it's the flexibility of ourselves, isn't it? Don't forget that our value systems change from 20, 30, 40 plus. So we're not always going to say, this is important to me. This is the way I think. I want us to always be open-minded to actually, evolve. The evolution of us is going to be different in different ages. And I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Well, that's what growth and wisdom and evolution is in relationships and within ourselves. You look thoughtful, Sam.
This whole thing's blowing my mind. I'm just reliving every argument I've ever had with every girl in my life.
Well, when we're learning, we can go back through the archives, can't we?
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex.
Okay,
Baby.
let's. You're going to sing something?
No, that's James's job.
Oh, is
He's,
that?
we spoke
he's a
about.
singer, yeah.
Are you?
No.
We spoke about sex on our previous one, and he continued to sing that
Did I?
song. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everyone. For
Hey,
that.
it was great. Probably the reason we've got so many views.
Do we talk enough about sex?
No.
Tell me more.
I think we should have an MOT on our sex lives and look at what it is. I want people to really...
Mine's failure at the minute.
Oh, really?
There's a few advisories in there.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Put some advisories in, come back in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, you get a free retest, but
No, I think the loveliest question I love is what does sex mean to you?
Yeah.
And that's my favourite question. And I give that to my clients. Say to them, what does sex mean to you? So go away separately and think about what it means to you.
Are there? I'm putting you on the spot now, but are there sort of themes or common answers that come back that you can recall? And don't worry if you can't in a moment. But
Yeah.
is it so broad as it is long, or is it actually that? I have worked with you for too long, but as soon as I went with that phrasing, I thought Sam's going to be like, "That's phallic."
I don't even know what that word means, but yeah, let's go.
Like, you were thinking anatomy.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, are we all so different, or do you think there are common themes within us humans that we really kind of all want, like playfulness, excitement, eroticism, etc.?
Yeah, there's the smorgasbord.
Yes.
So of all of it, I want my clients to actually think about it in a way that gives them a bit of everything. So I want them to be really passionate lovemaking. I want them to be quickies. I want, I do a thing called FBF, so fuck before food.
Fucking love that. Let's go.
Sam loves food as well.
Because there is something about, you go out for a big curry and then you come home and your expectations. And
no one wants to have sex after a curry either.
No,
I don't trust myself after a curry.
No, exactly. Nobody wants to. So what does sex mean to you is actually talking about it. What would be okay, what not be okay. And it's definitely about consent. Some things we can try, but I might not want to do it again because it wasn't for me. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try it. It's just that, can we have an open conversation about, you might have liked it and you want to do it again, but actually it doesn't suit me. Yeah. So we need to have a really robust conversation about it.
Consent is fluid, constantly alive, and it's an entity, isn't it, that we can withdraw consent and then we can give it freely. Yeah. But it's about communication.
It is. Yeah.
But it seems to me like at this point we're getting to, I don't know, we want that playfulness and we want to try new things. It feels like people may be inhibited for asking to try new things or being more spontaneous or being more, or taking more off the smorgasbord. Yeah. I don't know, what gets in the way of that being...
Feeling that you're going to hurt your partner, feeling that you're not allowed to say what you want and don't want. And also... being okay with how you are sexually. So I see a lot of women who don't have orgasms. And when they're in a relationship, whether it's a same-sex relationship or not, there is this goal to get them to where they need to get to. But actually, the anorgasmic part of them just doesn't work. They don't have orgasms. So we've got to stop relationships going, I'll be the one that gets you there. What happens is there's no sense...
The amount of time challenge accepted.
Yeah, but it's true.
That's what happens.
Yeah. And what happens is that the sensations of the relationship don't come online because the other person has an expectation that it's going to happen and they know it never will. The other person's going, I will make it happen. I want to be the person that does that too. So the sensations that they feel all the way long aren't there.
No,
they're doing the act, but the actual sensation, the enjoyment of it is not there.
It's the task focused rather than actually enjoying the moment sort of thing.
And that's why I love Tantra. I'm a Tantra practitioner. I'm a non-touch practitioner. I say that because obviously I'm really, really guarded with my profession. So and that. But I love the energy. So we do erotic blueprints, we do energy work, we do yoga, sexual yoga poses. And I'm talking about not we. I'm talking about them going home and doing the homework that I do. Because we've got this function of the whole is the goal, I guess, and orgasm is the place to go. And I want it to be different. I want them to be able to do lots of different things. within that relationship, not just the same thing that everyone else is expected to do.
Yeah.
So I love the tension builders. Tantra is so amazing because you get to the inevitability bit of coming but don't. And then you wait the next night and you do a little bit more and it builds up that tension. And the orgasm, if you do orgasm, comes for that achievement. You know, it's just a different feeling completely. Absolutely adore Tantra. It's amazing.
It's about anticipation, eroticism, isn't it?
T-R-A.
Yeah. But do you think that that's been lost in many sexual relationships between individuals where there isn't as much build-up, anticipation, excitement, lust? It's more, I think Sam said, task-orientated, let's just get to it. And even though there's a place for a quickie, like you say, I know as humans we're missing so much opportunity to build the sexual energy up.
Absolutely, yeah. And don't forget, when you weren't living together, there was that tension, you know, aftershave and perfume and getting ready and all that sort of. It's amazing. When you live together, there is no
Door
tension.
open while having a poo.
No, I don't have any of that. No.
When you're in the shower,
that's the death of intimacy. Some would say that's the death of intimacy. Some would say that they're just so comfortable. But you've got to still make an effort.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt, yeah. For yourself, I'm talking about self-pleasure as well. I sell sex toys, and for me, self-pleasure is just as important as you know, solo pleasure is important as partnership pleasure.
Let me jump on that then, because there's
on the sex toy.
That's your job, mate, not mine. But like, you hear so many couples that like are against masturbation because it's like, oh, you're cheating on me, or why am I not good enough for you? Like, I used to have a bit of a joke with my ex. I was fine for it, but like, oh, have you done a bit of DIY today? Like, it's just like a little jokey thing that we used to. She'd be like, yep, DIY twice. And I'm like, oh, I fucking love that. Like, I'll be at work, she'd be like, I just DIY'd. I'm like, oh, that's fucking fit. Like, that's hot. That's a turn on, right? Because I know I'll be coming home at 10 o'clock and I'll be like, right, well, she's done it twice and she's still up for a third round, so I'm all right. And she's probably come, so I don't need to make her come. But anyway, it's like, but you hear so many people go, oh, why have you had a wank? Why have you done this? Because you don't need porn. You've got me. Like, where's your head on that?
Masturbation is great.
Yeah,
I think it's I was going to say a necessity.
I think you're right.
I think it's brilliant, and I think it's looking after yourself. It's self-care, and it's all muscle. So wouldn't you go and look after yourself in any other part of your body as muscles, and look after that part? We don't. You know, I always say to myself, you know, do we moisturise that part? Everybody moisturises their face near enough. Do we moisturise our genitals? Probably not.
Like it's almost like
my skincare is very expensive.
You don't want to be using your £25 face cream down below.
When I run out of Christmas Pampers that I get given, it gets put on the side.
Be careful of sensitive areas.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But it's true. Is it speaking to sort of maybe some part
There's a niche in the market
disconnect
there.
Or there is genital cream?
Not genital cream, because there's definitely people out there that's called pharmaceutical.
Yeah, but that's to deal with an issue, not like, just taking care of it.
Like Willy Moisturiser. Why not?
We've got to find a way of making that alliteration. We've got to find Willy something or moisturising.
But it's only the moisturiser. You don't have to carry on. Do you know what I mean? It's
just moisturise it.
But masturbation can be seen. It's my lisp, my delightful lisp.
It is delightful.
I'm oral diverse. Look, stop shaking it because I said oral. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, about it. Masturbation is seen as a shameful thing.
Yeah,
it can be. Yeah,
in public. Yeah,
and it's like, you know, you've got to hide it from your partner. It's cheating. Like I think someone said, it's not. And actually, that's got to be addressed, right? If people aren't free to explore their own bodies, something's gone a bit wrong.
Well, it's control, isn't it? You can't do what you want to do for you as an individual. You've got to, I'm now your focus. This is where this happens. But if it's not happening there either, and people are shutting down on sex, where are you getting that from? And it's interesting, you know, some clients of mine have got contracts of no porn. Yeah. Their husbands or partners cannot watch porn. And then when they watch porn, I had one couple come to me and they split up straight away. She said, it was a contract and you weren't allowed to watch anything. Da, da, da. So it depends on what porn you're watching, obviously. It's got to be, you know, okay porn. Yeah. And Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's a task. It can be part of a whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's anything like if you abuse it, you know, like I've got an opinion on porn. I think it has ruined a lot of people's expectations of what sex should be. But like you say, that's quote the wrong porn to be watching, you know.
Or don't take it as real life. Take it as a fantasy.
It is a fantasy. Like, you know, you are watching a film. It's a acting. It's not. It's
people going, cut. Can we do that bit again? Yeah.
No matter what stuff you watch, like
people using things like to simulate cum and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's it's all staged, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's it. And it's not, like you say, it's not real life. So it gives off an expectation that that's what sex should be like. And then when it's not, it's like, okay, well, yeah. And then you revert back to it. You know, you hear about guys and girls having sex, and then they go, oh, don't worry, I'll finish myself off. And then they'll go watch porn for 5 minutes after and finish themselves off. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense.
But we've all got to know our own bodies. You know, the curve, the inevitability part for you guys, knowing when that's going to happen. And for women, it's about being able to, how do we get turned on? Is it clitoral? Is it vaginal? It's really important to know these things. And if you're not doing that for yourself, you won't know.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. I think masturbation's great. It's a good thing. It's a healthy thing. It's part of you looking after that part of your body.
And if you're open about it, Sam said earlier, it can be really exciting and erotic, and that tension can build. Be like, oh, amazing! You know,
and
DIY,
and you can do it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mutual masturbation must be an incredible.
I love that shit. Like someone, if you're in that moment and then you're both doing it, like. You know, seeing someone else get that aroused over you doing whatever you're doing. Yeah. Fucking right, let's go.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think I agree.
Yeah. But we're not, there's taboo, there's shame, there's religion, there's culture. All of that can take us to a place of it's wrong, or I shouldn't be, or I shouldn't get pleasure from it. And that's the taboos we've got to really look into and say to ourselves, right, okay, you know, I feel like it is a right to have a sexual relationship for yourself or with somebody else.
Do you feel that, I mean, it's like, those subjects are generational, right? I mean, I could never imagine my mum and dad sitting there talking about fucking having a wank. Do you know what I mean? No. But it's like, as the generations are going, do you find people are talking about it more? Like the younger generation want to talk about it more than the older. Do you, like, I don't know what kind of age scale your clients go from, but do you find it easier talking to the younger ones about that kind of thing than the older ones?
I guess the age range is 18 plus. Okay. But yeah, I've got sort of 18, 21-year-olds who find it really difficult to talk about it themselves and with their partners.
Really?
So I don't think it's just the older generation.
Scripty stuff again.
And that's because they've been it's ingrained in them that, oh, no, you shouldn't talk about that. Like,
I don't know how I learned about anything to do with sex.
No.
I mean, I got given the Body book in the 90s, which was on my bed one day. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But my parents, we lived in a non-sex house. There's just no sex. No mention or reference to anything of anything
really
sexual.
Bad joke then,
but some people might relate to this, but it was just sex was a non-thing. Wasn't even people might go, oh, I don't want to hear my parents having sex. Part of me, and like I mean this sincerely, would have actually quite liked, looking back, to hear them, because I'd be, oh, it's healthy, it's normal,
they're loving,
but actually they're loving each other. But it went from they weren't having any sex to no sort of intimacy. And in my sort of scripty stuff, it took me a long time to feel comfortable to express myself sexually, because the script, this isn't blaming my parents, but that generational thing they went through will have meant that they were inhibited about it, which passed down inhibition to me, which I mean, I luckily was able to speak about why I felt inhibited about it, but it was a real journey to get there. So I suppose it doesn't matter what age you are, you'll have your story around sex. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have your script, So I was brought up in an over-sexualised house. So complete opposite to me. It's complete opposite, yeah. So witnessing or seeing or hearing inappropriateness, really. Yeah. So and maybe that's why I can talk about sex so easily now. Yeah. Don't know. To think about that, I have to reflect on that later. But I still think I experienced people being somewhat tentative around talking about sex.
They are.
It's society again, isn't it? It's like we talk about it behind closed doors.
Yeah. But you're so scared of hurting the other person.
Yeah.
Like if you've been doing something for a long time in the relationship and you suddenly think, that's one of the things that women say to me, I don't want to have sex because I don't want to have the same sex. And the guy will say something like, what's the matter with it then? We've been doing it for this long. What you want somebody else then? You want to go and have sex with somebody else? And they truly don't, but they want it to be different. They want something to change. It's what I call the roll-on, roll-off sex. It's the same stuff every single time.
Yeah.
You come, you disappear, we go and watch football. I know that's a cliche, but, go make the tea, that's another cliche. It's
a cliche for a reason, though, right?
Yeah. And that's why I say to people, when you've had sex, stay with each other and have a cuddle for at least 20 minutes because the oxytocin that travels through your body together lasts up to 14 days.
Wow.
For men and women? Or
for men and women,
okay.
Yeah. And what's so lovely about that is that you will find that both of you are kinder to each other. I'll get the tea.
Yeah.
I'll take the dog. You're different.
Yeah.
And it dilutes as we get up to the 14 days. So it's very powerful. These chemicals, dopamine and vasopressin and oxytocin and all of these are such powerful chemicals that we have at our disposal.
Yeah.
It's using them, isn't it, in the right way.
Yeah, knowing their relationship between what's going on neurologically and how we behave.
Yeah.
That having sexual needs isn't wrong or taboo or shameful.
Yeah.
But actually, it's an expression, two people coming together, or you connecting with your own body and being curious and calm and
and exploratory
open and exploratory.
Yeah, and don't forget in the limerence stage when we first meet someone.
Just explain the limerence.
Limerence is when you first meet somebody, and it's like possession and possession. You're fearful that they're going to leave you. It's really intense. Your knickers on backwards. Forget about your family. Forget about work, and you're so ingrained with this person, that symbiosis bonding that.
I think Spice Girls 2 become one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those listening, I learned about that before we started the podcast.
It's so strong. It's such a powerful thing, and people think it's love. It's limerence. You haven't even got to the love stage yet.
Okay.
And
it's like an extreme form of lust.
I was just going to say, is that the lust thing?
In the relationship?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's where we get quite fearful because as we become differentiated, we start to move away. So like you said a little while ago, I want to go out with my mates. Yeah. I want to connect back with the people that I know. And then this sort of symbiosis is like, don't let go of me. And then suddenly, and one person does it first, so the other person's going, oh, right, I'm being dumped. Oh, right, you don't care about me, you don't love me. They go into this real spiral. Yeah. And all you're doing is going, we need to get back to a bit of normality, but it's called the power struggle. And the power struggle is where we go through it and then we say to each other, actually, I do still want to spend time with you. I do still want to be with you. And then we go back into that real deal. We can never go back to limerence.
Yeah, see, like, it's one extreme of that, the love bombing thing. Is that the same sort of thing?
It is, yeah.
Because I've love bombed the shit out of people. I know I have, but it's like, and when I've reflected on it, I'm like, I feel terrible because I didn't intend to. No. Like I loved that feeling, like those initial conversations that, and the sex, the chemicals that were going. I felt amazing. Yeah, and then, like you've had sex and stuff like that, and it's almost like, oh shit, it's not that. Now I've got it, I don't want it, but something's changed. And I don't know what it is, and I can't put my finger on it. Right. Is that?
Yeah, love bombing is part of it, definitely. But we have to be very careful of that narrative around love bombing, I think, because we can be in a situation where there is an intention at the end to not pursue that person. Yeah. And the love bombing is something, limerence can go on from 3 months to 18 months. Okay. So we're mindful that there is a total switch off from like you're talking about.
Is that almost that honeymoon period?
It is, absolutely, yeah. Okay. And the switch off is different to I need differentiation. Yeah. I need to find myself again, even though I've developed such a closeness. We choose a little tiny weeny bit of a family of origin to choose the person we're choosing to go towards. So they remind us of our family. It's very small, but we feel comfortable. When people say, can't believe we talk so much, we've stayed up all night for 2 nights. Yeah. That's because there's a familiar part of them that's making you think
mostly
about...
unconscious.
All unconscious.
Yeah,
absolutely. So then we come into... It's the differences that keep us together, not the familiar.
Okay.
Because it's almost like unconsciously we're just being drawn and attracted to each other because of that familiarity from
of course,
childhood, until we get super conscious and go, we can build on this as where we started, because actually maybe you might argue that if you get that instant feeling of attraction, slow right down and be like, what's happening? Because
it's hard not to get.
I've heard
get run away with it, right?
I've been there. I've just completely smacked my mic. I've been there and felt all those powerful feelings. But now there's a more spiritual sort of part of me that's saying, like, just slow down and surrender it and go, hang on a second, let's just work out what's going on here, because it's okay to feel all those big feelings, but if it's coming from a place of a wound, then you're not really going to actually enjoy it. It's just only a matter of time before you get to the stuff that's going to inevitably come back up. If you then say, this is great, I'm choosing this consciously and I'm just going to enjoy it. That's different.
Absolutely.
But we are seeking each other out like heat-seeking missiles. Until, I think, I don't know what your opinion is, the wounds are healed, then we get to enjoy people.
And I guess, we fall in love and we fall out of love. We need to stop falling.
Can we just walk?
Can we walk a bit slowly? And just,
I'm doing a very swift.
Your power walk.
But I think it's been said many times, but I do love that saying, it's red flags turned into hearts. Because when you meet somebody, when you know that there's a red flag and you think, I'm not too keen on that really, but anyway, they, with this and that, and you sort of diminish the red flags to really either put them into hearts, or you see this green flag all the time and go, this is great, this is great. This is a limerence stage. And it's quite like this. It can be like this because you so want it, because it feels so amazing. This is dopamine at its best.
Yeah.
But that's not the same as serotonin and happiness.
No.
Which and oxytocin is not addictive. Serotonin's not addictive. No. I'm sure some of the others aren't. I've run out of my exhaustive list. But dopamine, rude. Dopamine is addictive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why people will keep checking out in affairs when they've got a partnership, because of the dopamine fix that they want to get. They want to go back to that feeling of newness. And that doesn't mean, in a lot of cases, that there's something wrong with the relationship they've got. They're okay with what they've got. They don't want to actually fracture what they've got, but they seek out that limerence again and again and again.
And they're destined to repeat the same things,
They
I
might
guess,
do,
until they become aware of what it is they're playing out.
Yeah.
So some part of that sort of process, I mean, people tend to come to couples therapy, if I'm understanding correctly, as what's the word I'm looking for? They need to fix something. So they might come to therapy because something feels broken, or they're not happy. Do you find people coming to couples therapy the opposite, that are actually cheerleading from the start? We want to preserve this relationship. We think we've got something good here.
It's that proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah, a bit of both, really.
Okay.
Some people are coming in and saying, we are not having sex, but we talk really well, we communicate, we talk about it, but we don't do it. And other people are coming in and there's so many deficits that they need to start from basics and find a voice, and both have a voice as well, which is really important.
It must be a real difficult balance to strike, because if the proverbial spark is gone, so that they've got the friendship, if they've got enough of the ingredients and the sex is gone, do you believe that you can get that back?
You can do if I do
generate it somehow.
They're generating it, aren't they? You're the facilitator of.
Can they rediscover or find if they've never really felt that, if they're open to experimenting, I guess?
If they're willing to do the work, yes, absolutely. I can't say for every single one, obviously, but if they're willing to do the work. But I've got these boxes that I use. So the first box is commit to the relationship and therapy, do the homework, really, really commit to it. That's the first box. The second box is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You're trying to make a decision if this is a relationship for you. And that scares. One person's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and the other person's going, I really want this relationship. So the one with the feet in is going, I'm really scared, I'm really worried. Okay, but come to therapy to work it out, because if you're in the wrong relationship, you're going to be so unhappy, and then you accumulate all the resentments, the bag gets bigger and bigger, we start to then be not very nice, and then we go to a contempt place, and then we go divorce, and actually they don't divorce very well.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is conscious uncoupling, where you get people to actually befriend each other after you go through all the hurt and the resentment and the arguing. You do all of that, and then they get to a friendship place, and then they can navigate the family. And I'm talking about children, their family, extended family, so the community can come together in a conscious uncoupling way. Yeah. But what we're trying to do in the therapy session is get them to come from a less conflict place, so they can actually be okay with each other and talk about it and do that.
Because repair is important. If there is a rupture in the relationship, repair is where you're going to learn, well, in the rupture, I guess, as well. But if you're deciding that you don't want to stay together, so often, I'm interested to know what your thoughts are on this, so often you hear that the people are complete enemies afterwards. There's contempt, loathing, hatred. They are not going to forgive that person ever, and they carry that around with them for years. Thinking, well, there was love there once. How has that changed to being
It's almost funny when you see people that are on the opposite end, like, you know, let's say your mates have got divorced parents, and they're like, yeah, they're still best friends. It's like, what? Why? Because the narrative is, if you're divorced, you fucking hate each other.
You can't be in the same.
You can't be friends. That's weird.
But to be consciously uncoupling, to be kind and friends, that's really important. I've never really understood why we have to be so contemptuous for our ex-partners, even if there have been mistakes, which is, let's face it, highly likely. Where's the forgiveness? Do you see a lot of people forgiving each other in the therapy space?
If they're going through that separation, there isn't a lot of forgiveness. That's why I do love the conscious uncoupling, because it gives the opportunity to do it differently. Why do we do it all the same? Why are we sticking to this pattern? And that if you've got the toxic person who's holding on to that and the other person's moved on, and then you've got the children who are involved in that toxic process, which they bring every single time to the person who's moved on, because it's part of the setup, seeing mum and dad and trying to hold one place. The children are actually becoming parents to the parents. It's so sad, and I just feel you've got to find forgiveness for yourself for the things that you did that got it to where it is, but then forgiveness for the other person. Otherwise, you're living in a toxic process. They're not. They've gone on and moved on and got married and had another baby. Or
you're the one continuing to suffer and carry that burden of hurt and hate and contempt for that person. You're the only one still in pain. If you're carrying that around.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is painful. Splitting up is very painful, but there is recovery. Totally. I believe in that. And I believe in couples. You know, I see my couples and I'm like, you know, let's have some hope. Let's see where we can go with this. So I think that's important too, to give people hope.
Yeah, definitely.
And not holding your partner so highly accountable. I say highly accountable. Not holding on to all of the mistakes. Forgive.
Yeah.
I believe we were born being able to forgive very freely. But we've learned through script and childhood, etc., to withhold forgiveness. But actually, I think we're much more capable of being able to forgive than we give ourselves credit for. But we have to practice the art of it. And so a lot of it is about trying not to be right, not to be in that power struggle. If we can say, do you know what, you're human, of course you made a mistake, that's okay, I forgive you, I forgive myself.
That's the big thing, I think.
Probably the holy grail of forgiveness is if we forgive ourselves. You're free to then get back to that conscious connection again. But if you're way off in guilt, shame, resentment,
but the reality is someone might never forgive you.
And that's
okay, because if you can forgive yourself,
and then the person who's doing the walking off going, I'll never forgive, part of my heart goes out to them going, please just be willing to think about forgiveness, because that's all it takes
for yourself,
absolutely, for no one else.
And one of my questions in my therapy room is, what do you think of your partner right now? And they list weaknesses, and then they suddenly turn it around and they go, well, you do bring money in and you do help with the kids, or you do in that, and the strengths. So the strengths are like an afterthought. So where they're in that flux of not okayness, they can only see the weaknesses in the partner. They can't see the strengths and talents that they saw in the beginning.
Yes. And they kind of forgotten. Because how do you think people keep those strengths and talents and what you like in your partner alive? Do you think there's an art to it somehow? Like, how do we keep that conscious? Appreciation, bringing the appreciation. I really think, why should I thank him or her for a cup of tea when I bring the money in? Because it would be nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to not bring the money in. You're choosing to do the job you're doing. It's the same as when couples say to me, women usually say to me, I've given up my career, I had the children. No, there must have been a conversation.
Yeah.
There must have been a conversation. You haven't just had a baby, because it does take 9 months. And you must have had a conversation. How are we going to navigate this? Who's the better earner? What should we do? But women are coming up and going, I left my career behind, and now you're flourishing and I'm la la. I just think there must have been a conversation. We need to be really clear and have evidence of, like, no one made you do this. You're in a partnership and you chose some of this stuff together.
Yeah.
Very strict in the counselling room.
I think
that's a different profession.
we need that assertive guidance. And where are we talking about this stuff other than the therapy room? We're picking up romantic ideals from every single part of society in terms of pop culture and films and whatever. When are we actually getting taught to have healthy, open, vulnerable conversations with each other? No wonder so many relationships are struggling.
Yeah, they are.
So being more curious and open to at least starting the conversation and be like, where's this going? I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, isn't it? Like, if you're not used to doing it, then so you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a distinct lack of awareness on a wider scale for how to have relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the stuff they should be teaching in schools, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree. And I think it's about what's your story?
Yeah.
What do you want your script to be for this relationship? Not what you had. What do you want it to be now? And I think that's really important. I get them to write their story.
Yeah.
So, I get them to write an erotic script about each other, which turns them on. So, and they don't share that with me. They share it with each other. I tell them they can't share it with each other, which then builds the tension even more. And, and they read it to each other. And it just starts that process of being back online with each other.
Well, it's the power of the power of visualization as well, isn't it?
Absolutely,
there's plenty of techniques that other people use in different areas of therapy. And what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Write it down, start visualizing it. It's the same principle, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as the relationship vision. Writing something down to be able to say, right, okay, because that's what the differentiation is about. We've got 2 circles that we've got our own stuff in, and the circle up the top is the vision for us. If relationships haven't got a vision for us, they won't flourish.
Well, one person's vision is dominant, the other one hasn't put their bit in.
Maybe, absolutely, like yeah.
It's very similar to a piece of dating advice I got when I very first became single, and it was write down your idea of your perfect partner. So in this instance, it would be, what's your perfect relationship? And then become that person, and that's what you'll attract. And it's the same principle, I guess. That's your perfect relationship. Well, fucking make it happen, because you're the only one that can.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to come across obstacles, and if it inevitably there is certain things that the other person won't do to hit that thing, then you've got a decision to make, right?
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to know, or how's the other person supposed to know what that relationship looks like if you don't communicate it?
But that's about manifestation as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so key, I think, to saying, what is my value system? What is my moral code? How do I want to proceed as a person within a relationship? Who do I want to be in that? And what is it that I'm looking for to get back?
Yeah.
And what we're asking, nobody is going to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. However, when somebody meets us, then we can actually navigate, is that what I wrote on that Bumble? As correct as I think it is, and being able to go, actually, I can actually be flexible with that because I actually really like this person.
Yeah, well, there's compromises, right? And
No. Always compromise means it feels like it's not. Compromise feels like you've let something go.
Okay.
Negotiation feels like you've just talked it out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So you've still got something.
Yeah.
Negotiation.
Yeah.
You can look at it and you've still gained something.
Surrendering it or having to let it go.
Yeah, okay. Compromise feels like you've just had to let something go.
Something.
Yeah, absolutely. So negotiate something that actually is a win-win. Not competitive win-win, but a win-win. So we go, okay, I'm okay to not, and you okay to yes, and then it's my turn, your turn, my turn.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I'm sure you get asked this all the time, so I'm going to put you on the spot, but what would you say in terms of some advice to couples who are struggling? Whether that's from your experience in the past or now, just what comes up to you in this moment. How would you like to help guide couples towards a healthier relationship? What would you say that is one of your key things that counts?
I'd like them to look back and think about what they were to each other in the beginning.
Okay.
I'd like them to think about that the script that they're actually in is not theirs. It belongs to the family of origin.
Yeah, okay.
I always think about that song, even though I've never heard it, but it was strangers, friends, lovers to strangers again.
Okay.
And that's where they end up. So for somebody being so close in that limerence and then choosing each other and having children and building that empire and having fun and making friendships and having that community, they end up being complete strangers. Who are you to me? I don't even know who you are anymore. So there's such a divide from that start to finish. It just feels sad. So going back to your question, talk to each other. Make time and do it in a way that is similar to counselling. Say, let's have 15 minutes each, once a week, to just say, how are you? How are you? How are you doing? Not about work, not about the kids, not about family. How are you? It's very intimate to do that. And if you can't do it face to face, every Friday, 7 o'clock, write down how I am and give it to your partner.
Something powerful about written word as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, even if it's, I think someone told me once, you know, write down 5 things that you like about your partner and just like let them read it on a Friday night before you go out for a date night.
Yeah.
You know, you read 5 things that someone thinks are like, you're attractive, or you make me laugh, or you like, even like the little quips, you're like, oh yeah, that's,
it's warmth.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a warmth to it. Yeah. Leave little notes in the fridge, like boo.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I used to leave work early, and I used to, I didn't used to make the coffee because she'd be up later, but I used to prep the coffee and then just a little note next to it being like, have a good day, I love you. Do you know, stuff like that? And like, don't get me wrong, I lost sight of that as the relationship went on, because but
we get drawn into stuff.
But like things like that, and I'm like, if you do that now, you're seen as like this most chivalrous guy in the world. And it's like, no, that shit's normal. Like, it should be. Well, not to
I don't think it's
contradict
normal
myself.
for everybody. I think it's easy to do.
It is so easy.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Like a packed lunch, if your partner's going somewhere, and then when they open, there's a little note in there. I just think it's so cool. It's so simple.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and it's the warmth that gathers the intimacy.
Well, it's the cliche of saying in a relationship anyway, but it's always the little things, isn't it?
It's always, yeah,
That's it.
Absolutely.
Sam, what about you? Any
relationship advice?
Yeah,
absolutely fucking not.
Come on, you just said you had a lovely piece of advice.
Nah, like
all of your life experience, wisdom you've accumulated.
I don't feel like I'm in any position to be able to give anyone advice.
Well,
to be honest,
I gently disagree, because I think you've got lovely.
You're making me feel
say.
warm now, James.
So anything that comes to mind?
I mean, I've made plenty of mistakes, but yeah, the biggest thing, I probably wouldn't have. You know, everything happens for a reason. You know, I get that, and I'm in the position I am because of where I got to and what I've done. But just to like reiterate, Lottie, just fucking talk. Like, you know, so many of my issues would have been dealt with had I spoken to somebody sooner in therapy and stuff like that. So talk, like, it's that cliche thing of you can't let someone else love you if you don't love yourself. And if you are in a relationship and you're not really feeling 100% about it, maybe have a look inside first. Like, it's, like you say, it's that. Sorry, phone's going. It's that.
It's like, just hitting yourself. This is not good advice. I don't like this advice.
But it's that script. It's that script thing that you guys have spoken about, and it's like, I only know now why I did some of the things I did, or the way I reacted because of like my script from my childhood, and I'm like, fucking hell. If I'd have known that, maybe I wouldn't have broken up with that last girl. You know.
Yeah.
You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but yeah, just talk, whether it's to yourself first, and then once you've figured out that, also communicate that. Like, if you're with the right partner, I believe you should be able to turn around to them and say, I'm feeling like this because I'm worried about this thing from my last relationship or theirs. And if they're going to turn around and ridicule it for you, then they're not the right one for you anyway.
And it is the response.
It's massively that, yeah.
You said that at the start, didn't you?
And that's what I love about differentiation. Whatever's happening in your life, bring it back to you first.
Yeah.
And think about, right, okay, what does that mean for me? Because your exploratory part, that reflective part, will give you more clarity when you go to your partner. This is actually really what's happening for me. Whereas if you don't work it out yourself first and you're going in, you may have an attitude or an aggression or an agenda for your partner to validate you.
Yeah.
And what happens is they don't know what you're talking about. They're not sure where you've come from. You say it in such a way that isn't setting the scene, and then it all falls down.
Yeah.
So,
James?
So honest, so much wonderful stuff's been shared today. I'm really, really
thankful
to
definitely been probably my favourite episode we've done. I reckon.
The conversations have been so powerful. For me, one thing I've learned, currently going through a point where I'm reacclimatising to being single again. If I could give anyone one piece of advice, it would be try not to close your heart. Because even if somebody's close, I think that a lot of suffering from when relationships end, obviously I'm aware of all the scripty stuff and all of the baggage and all of the fear, but part of the pain for me, I think, is that we learn that if something doesn't work out between two people, that we have to stop loving them. So closing our heart off hurts. And so I try and encourage people to stay open. Yep. You can still feel sad and hurt, but not close your heart.
Yeah, love that.
I think the act of the closing of the heart is what causes it to be such a devastating experience. Not to say that you can't feel profoundly sad, of course you can, but try and keep your heart open. Nobody's saying you can't not love them internally.
Yeah.
If they're going off doing whatever, or they can be behaving however they want to be, hopefully not really disrespectfully, but even if they are, don't try not to close your heart to them. And if you can keep your heart open and still heal, then I think you'll go on to your next relationship with not quite so much work to do and reopening your heart again. Because if you never shut it, you don't have to reopen it. So it doesn't, as I say, does that make sense? It doesn't mean you don't feel the feelings.
No, of course
but
not.
I want to stay open to love.
Yeah.
I don't want to shut off to it.
Yeah.
So that's my job, to, even if somebody has really hurt me, to internally say, I still love you.
Yeah.
Even if we've fallen out of love, I don't want my heart to hurt so much because it's having to constrict. No one's asked me to do that. It's just implied when love relationships end that you have to shut off. That's my bit.
And that's why I love that poem, The Reason, Season and a Lifetime, because I believe that people come into your life for a reason. They are there because they're supposed to be there for the amount of time that they are. And what's the learning? What have they taught you? So I love that. Yeah.
Reason, Season, Lifetime.
Yeah,
I can't remember
gorgeous.
the poem, but yeah, it's a powerful thing, right?
Yeah.
We've been taught something. And you might not actually say that to the partner. I said it to somebody in my life recently, and they didn't like it because they thought I was talking about them just being a learning opportunity. Whereas, so I've learned actually so much is about learning when to say these things to yourself.
Yeah.
And actually, it doesn't mean you have to share it. Because now I've gone, well, actually, I didn't mean it's a science project. But reason, season, lifetime, there'll always be something you can take. But that doesn't mean you necessarily have to tell them, oh, you're a reason, you're a season, you're a lifetime.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
But
no.
Tell
but
yourself
again,
that.
Yeah, well, the differentiated is work it out yourself first. Heal yourself first. Because there's nobody out there that's going to do it for you. It's your heart.
Absolutely. Wonderful conversations. Lottie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sam and I were so excited to have you on the podcast. We were like really buzzing for it.
I feel like James wanted you to grill me a little bit more on my own sex life, but you know, we can do that for another episode.
Project that onto me.
Oh, you've been I was telling Elliot, you've been licking your lips in this situation
like,
for a while.
Lottie's a sex therapist. Let's talk
It was
about
like,
it from
I can't wait to see you in front of Lottie.
It was like, I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Ironically, I think I made the least sexual innuendos in front of the sex therapist.
Do you know what you did? You gave me a few looks, and I don't know if Lottie picked up on them, but because I was like, you're looking at me when I said certain things. But it's been wonderful to learn from you today, Lottie.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. You're great, both of you.
Let's do the talk. Now, I say this because I know you somewhat, which you might go, I don't know what they are. But do you want to tell people about your socials and how people can find you online?
Yes. Okay, so LottiePassell-Syms.com, that's my website.
Do you want to spell your surname for them?
The whole, should I spell the whole?
Yeah. I mean,
we will put it in the description as well.
Lottie Passell-Syms. Lovely.
Yeah, LOTTIE, PASS for sugar, ELL for long legs, S for sugar, Y for Yankee, M for mother, S for sugar.com.
You got phonetic
Your
alphabet.
surname's
You
almost as
added
hard
a
as
few
mine.
others in, long legs. I love that. So Instagram.
Instagram, I don't know what that is. I'm just there. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know all these verbs.
We'll bang them on the description.
Yeah,
Good
put it all
idea.
on yeah, absolutely. YouTube, Paradox of Change podcast. Now your podcast, which I've loved this. It's been amazing.
We told you it'd be light-hearted.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you're really easy to talk to, both of you.
So are
Definitely.
you.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, quite right, Sam. We'll put all of the
If you
links to
could,
things
yeah.
in
Yeah.
the what do we call it? Description.
Yeah, that
there you
would be
go.
much better.
God, I know
Thank
this
you.
stuff, don't I?
Yeah, I know my name. Apart from that.
Because it's L-O-T-T-I, which I asked you to spell. Thank you so much, Lottie. It's
You're
been a
welcome.
real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
both
you
of
very much.
And nice to
Okay.
see you again, Sam.
You too, Mr.
I hope
Penny.
you continue to feel better.
Yeah.
Not
Fine.
too much coughing, actually. You were all right.
No, I was right. I think
Yeah.
it was like 3 or 4 times, but we
You
did
did
it.
well.
All
Yeah.
right.
Elliot was telling us different, but yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
You're going to lose that sexy voice. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was the
Back
one
to-
that, I mean, yeah, husk to me
Yeah.
is a bit sexy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know?
So, on that note,
You know
I'll
On that
say-
note,
I'll say goodbye.
take care.
See you later.